Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today to talk to you about everything entertainment.
Entertainment.
Yeah, and so this week I am actually going to go first.
Right.
And I'm going to start off talking about the TV show The Dropout.
Ooh.
Yeah, so The Dropout, it's kind of interesting. A lot of people may even remember this story. It just happened back in like 2017, I guess, where this lady was found out to be lying the whole time about her company Theranos.
Yeah.
And so basically, the story is about Elizabeth Holmes. And she actually was someone who was going to Stanford. And she was really smart in regards, I mean, you got to be to get into Stanford. And so basically, while she was there, she kind of just had this dream her whole life of being a billionaire. Like that was her plan,
when she
her
was a
dream.
child. Yeah.
I'm going to be a billionaire. Like no matter what, I don't give up, I don't quit, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to be a billionaire. And so the story goes where she kind of saw something in her childhood that could have potentially driven her to do some of the things that she did, which was when her father lost his job at Enron with the whole Enron scandal. Then she just saw her father kind of demasculated a little bit, or emasculated, I think is the word, a little bit, because of the fact that he just was trying to figure out how he's going to make ends meet. How do you pay your mortgage? How do you do everything that you need to do? And so therefore, he had to kind of go to a friend and see if the friend would loan money. The friend was a jerk. You know, so much stuff going on with that story. So anyway, that piece in itself, I think, led her to feeling like she needed to succeed no matter what. Like, come what may, I'm going to succeed. So just to give you an idea of some of the cast members before I get too far into this. So you have Amanda Siegfried. I can't even say it. Siegfried? I think it's Siegfried. I can't remember if it's Seyfried or Siegfried. But anyway, Amanda Siegfried. You'll know her. You've seen her in other things before. Yeah. You have William H. Macy. He's playing the neighbor who's already like super rich and kind of a jerk, you know, for the most part. He has a contentious relationship even with his neighbor's daughter, this, you know, Elizabeth Holmes, which is kind of weird. You have Elizabeth Marvel. She is... she's definitely a face that you've seen before. For those of you who kind of binged the show, oh gosh, what's the show? Manifest.
Oh yeah,
She was on Manifest. I won't say who she was in case people haven't watched it, because that's a huge reveal of who this person is. But anyway, so she was on there. And then you even have Laurie Metcalf. She's on this. She was the one who played Roseanne's sister on the TV show Roseanne. So she's in here. So they have a pretty good stellar cast. Naveen Andrews. Just a bunch of different people who are in here. And so for the most part, what happens is that she ends up going to Stanford and she harasses this poor professor to the point that she's like, look, I know I'm a freshman, but I really want to be in your kind of more graduate level program in regards to trying to just make a change and to do different things and look at different, you know, I don't know, different things under different microscopes and all of that. And she just wanted to be a part of this program. And he was like, nope, not going to do it. But she kept harassing him. So finally he was like, just come in the room.
Yeah, like she stayed in the hallway waiting for him.
Just hanging out in the hallway waiting on him. And Amanda and Elizabeth Holmes, even in her own documentaries or when they've recorded her talking, she said, yep, that's what I did. I stood right outside his door.
You got to put in the deep voice when you do
Yes, but we haven't gotten to that part yet. So basically what happens is she ends up getting into his graduate program because she did come up with an answer to something that the graduate students really just didn't know anything about. And so she kind of piqued the curiosity and interest of this professor. And he was like, you know, well, she kind of brought to his attention, like, you know, you had all of these amazing Silicon Valley students who've been in your class, and how many of them did you invest in? None of them. I think you should invest in me because you've missed your boat of millions and millions of opportunities and dollars, knowing that you were around all these kids and you just didn't follow along, you know, with the process. So therefore, you know, follow me. So he ends up doing that, believe it or not. And so she is working on various things with some other students. And lo and behold, she came up with this concept of taking one prick of blood from your finger, and that is going to be able to tell the whole makeup that you would normally have from having all this blood, like a whole vial of blood or multiple vials of blood being taken from you. Instead, she was like, we can figure this out from one prick of blood. And so the character that Laurie Metcalf plays, her name in real life is Phyllis Gardner. Phyllis Gardner was like, look, that's not even possible.
Yeah, it's not possible at all.
It's literally not possible that you can do a whole bunch of genetic tests for cancers, tests for
from one
STDs,
drop of blood.
whatever, from one drop of blood. So no, you're wrong. And so she was defiant. She knew she could do it. And so the story goes, and I mean, I'm not spoiling anything because literally just a few years ago, all of this was in the news. But she basically went through, got all these investors. I mean, people who were
people giving her millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. People who were billionaires were giving her money. People who were billionaires were on her board of directors for Theranos. She pulled people from Apple. Which she was like a fan of. Steve Jobs. She started to dress like him.
The black turtlenecks and the black and white
everything.
pictures.
And she just was like infatuated with Steve Jobs for some reason. So anytime she could be around or close or near anybody from Steve Jobs, she was all for it. Even the person who created the shape of the iPhone is somebody that she brought onto her team at Theranos. Because that person was like, I created the model of what the iPhone came from, and so she recruited that person over to Theranos. But that was one of the people too that started seeing the ripples in the foundation. You know, she was like, I don't quite think that this is going the way you planned. And what you find out by watching this TV series, and it's not officially done yet, but you find out that not only can she not run the test from a single drop of blood, but also the machine that you put the blood into wasn't even working. Like it worked once, twice, no more than probably 5 times. I think they may have said no more than 10, something to that effect. But like literally you would put it in and then, it was supposed to work its little magic, bloop, 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 and then show up something on the computer screen that says you have this much of this disease, this much of this, this is that, and your cholesterol's here, and all these things are like that. And it barely worked. So some of the people who worked there were like, hey, this isn't really working. Like, what are we going to tell the investors? Like, and there's scenes where it's intense. Like, they're just trying to get the thing to work, period. And the investors are getting ready to come and they want numbers and they want information and all that. And she finagles and figures out ways to work around it and all that. Like, it's just fascinating to see how she could get so many super rich and super smart people to follow her. And at the time she started this company, she was 19. And she dropped out of school, which is why it's called the dropout, right? They were like, she hadn't even taken enough scientific courses in college.
They said that she didn't take any medical courses, and she took like the beginning stages of like engineering courses or something like that. It was like she knew nothing.
It's ridiculous how everybody just trusted in her. And so what ends up happening is that lo and behold, one of her investors, one of her top investors, somebody who like trusted her more than anything, his grandson ended up working at Theranos, and he's in the labs like, this doesn't even work. Like this. And let me go back and say, I haven't even seen this on the show. I did a deep dive, went and started watching 2020 specials.
You watched the woman. So I started to watch the 2020 special. That's why I know so much information. That's why I started to watch.
So on the 2020 special,
I got my own little notes right here.
The grandson, he actually ends up coming forward and it's like a whistleblower basically. It says, look, Theranos is not at all what they say it is. It's all fake. A sham. It's fake. And this one guy on the 2020 special was like, look, let me tell y'all, there's 2 situations that I've seen this bad in my history. One was Bernie Madoff.
Oh, God.
And she was worse.
God.
Like her way of getting money from people for something that wasn't, like, at least with Bernie, I'm taking your money and investing it and using your money to pay back this person and using that money to pay back this and then reimburse it. Exactly. She was just robbing. She won't pay.
She was like the Tinder swindler.
Oh God. Yeah, but she literally was just taking all this money from all these major donors and investors, and she was lying to them over and over and over again. She was telling them, "Oh yeah, we have contracts with Pfizer. We have, and she never had even done anything. She's going to cancer patients and telling them, "Yeah, let's get a prick of your blood and give you this machine, and you can run it at your home," knowing that the machines don't work. And you're working with cancer patients. like all of this is just like, how narcissistic are you? How inhumane are you that you would allow cancer patients when you know you're lying and this isn't even something that can be done. And so going to you talking about her voice, because I know we have to kind of keep it moving, yes, so what she did is when she was regular and in school and all of that, she was like talking like this, and then you saw her one day where she, I guess, realized like, in order for me to be taken seriously, I really need to change my voice and change my tone. So she started just talking deeper and deeper and deeper, and then all of a sudden this is the only voice that you ever heard from her, and she never went out of character and she never went out of this voice. And they said the only time, like the professor, the Phyllis Gardner, she was like, look, when she first approached me, she didn't have that voice.
She had that. She
didn't
said
have that. I don't know where that came from, but all of these people who were working for her thought that was her voice until one time she got kind of tipsy at a Christmas party and let it go and started like acting like her true self. And they were like, wait, what happened to the deep voice? Because she just knew that she would command attention. Everybody had to be quiet to hear her speak, and she would just do that. She would do TED Talks like this, like everything she did was with this voice, you know. And it was like, oh my God, that is just, it's just fascinating. That's all I can say.
She is the best con artist. That's all she
is a true
con artist,
evil genius, con artist.
Because she knew if I brought my voice down, then everybody had to listen to me harder.
Yeah, and
then they're going to take me more serious than me having the little Silicon Valley preppy girl voice. Now having, you know, I'm doing the Steve Jobs turtlenecks. I'm not showing cleavage. I'm just like, I'm completely covered.
And she wasn't that way when she first started off the company. And so it's just really interesting how the whole story evolves. And not to even mention that there's a gentleman who she ends up having an affair with, or I don't know if it even is officially an affair. I thought he was married when they first started introducing him.
I don't know.
But anyway, and so his name is Sonny. Oh gosh, I forgot his name that quick. But Sonny, he actually is like a multimillionaire himself. Sonny Balwani, that's his name. And so he basically, and that's who Naveen Andrews plays. And so he ends up fronting her like $20 million because the board realized she was kind of lying and they were ready to kick her out. And she was like, well, I do have one investor in my back pocket who can invest $20 million in this business if I can be the CEO and they can be the co-CEO. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, maybe our money isn't completely gone and wasted into this company, so let's allow the two of them to be the CEOs of it. And so the story just ensues, and it's just crazy. She gets pregnant during the trial, and everybody thinks that is just for, sympathy of the court. Like, everything about her is completely calculated and narcissistic.
I can see that.
I am fascinated, or as we said, repulsed but intrigued. But I'm going to continue to watch it. Right, exactly. And so, but it's The Dropout. I think I forgot to say at the beginning, but it's on Hulu. So that is my number one. Right. Sorry, that took so long. Right. All right. So what do you got?
All right. So I have another Hulu.
Okay.
A Hulu original.
Oh, okay.
It's called Fresh. Fresh as I miss. Okay.
All right.
Started watching it, saw the preview, and I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. It was not at all what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And it is so good. I thought it was going to be one good thing, and then it became a whole nother good thing.
So did you watch a trailer?
I watched a trailer. But it doesn't tell you everything. It was an actual really good trailer.
It's like,
you know how trailers,
like Jordan Peele, where you see a trailer, but you can't really tell
what's going on. But I mean, the trailer gives you like the beginning 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the rest. Oh my goodness, it is so good.
So what's the premise?
So I'll give you a little bit of a premise of it. All right, so it's a dating story. And it's how you can meet people online. They seem cool, but then like you meet them in person and they just are the total opposite.
Like every 90-day fiance show.
Yes. Okay, but these are actually like,
I'm
just first date things.
Gotcha.
So like first, was it blind date, whatever that
Love at First Sight.
Love at First Sight, something like that, yeah. So Daisy Jones plays the character Noah.
Okay.
And then she's the main character. Noah is online trying to meet guys, and she always has no luck.
Okay.
She goes on this one date with this dude, and he's just like, hey, they only accept cash. We have to, like, make sure you bring cash, and we're going to split the food, and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So much. Wait.
So wonderful.
Gets better. Then, once they're like, oh, are you done? He's like, oh, yeah, we're done. Can we get boxes for these? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna box up your food and my food so I can give it to my roommate because like I just told him we were coming out for like dinner, so
I can't even take home my food that I've paid for.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
I'm just
so
making sure I'm following.
As he's putting the leftovers in his box, his scarf that he has on, because he's one of those guys who wears a t-shirt with a scarf.
Oh,
his scarf is in his lo mein, and she's looking at him. She's like, "Your scarf's in your lo mein." He's just like, "Oh man, this is my favorite scarf." She's just like, "Okay, yeah, I cannot do this." He's just like, hey,
that's what made her say she couldn't do this.
Yeah. Well, basically, yeah. She was desperate. She's desperate to find. She's desperate.
God.
She was desperate to find. Yeah. She was desperate to.
That's a whole.
But she also said that she hated the dating game. She's like, when I go on dates, she's like, you never know. She said, you talk to them online. Mm-hmm. She's talking to her best friend who is played by this lady named JoJo T. Gibbs, and she's talking to her, and she's just like. Yeah, you meet these guys online, they seem like they're really nice, and then once you get on face to face, then they become like total like
jerks.
Yeah, jerks. She was like, it's just the worst. So she just like, I just hate everything about dating. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, yeah. So now, she is, she meets this guy who played by Sebastian Stan. His character's name is Steve. She meets him at a grocery store. Literally, she's shopping for groceries. She has on sweatpants, sweatshirt. She has like a long trench coat.
Being herself.
Like 80s socks. Like, like the was it? She's a maniac. Those kind of socks. Mm-hmm. That's how she's dressed. And he just looks at her and starts conversation. He's just like, hey, did you know they made cotton candy grapes? She was like, what? And he's just like, yeah, here, try them. It tastes like cotton candy. That's his opening.
That was his open. Okay.
And then after that, he's like, he starts to make a fool out of himself, and she's just like, all right, well, okay. I take back what I just said. I'm sorry, but like, I would love to have your number. I would love to like take you out on a date. She's like, okay. And then he's like, all right, I want to text you, but I'm not going to text you, but I want to. But I will text you later, but just not right now. And she's just like, oh my God, he's so cute. She gets with him. They hit it off. Everything's good. They're supposed to go away together.
Okay. Go
on a weekend trip, like a little camping trip or something like that.
Okay.
Then she finds out what his fetish is. I guess it's a fetish, and it's also part of his job, but then it's a hobby.
Okay.
All the above, yes.
So
that's when it gets good.
So you're not going to tell us what the fetish is?
I can't tell you nothing. If it ain't in the trailer, it ain't coming out my mouth.
Oh, wow. So all this is in the trailer so far.
Basically,
like it hits on all of these topics. Him and
like her trying to find a date and then
being
like
a little jerky.
Yeah. And then like her meeting this guy in the grocery store. He's really cool. Okay. And then it's like, then it goes to like dark, and then it goes to like clips of different stuff. So it's like a thriller suspense, but not really, because it's still kind of like a really jacked up like love story, but like it's so much.
So where did Fresh come from? Good. Can you tell where Fresh
I can't tell you.
Oh, you know where Fresh comes from.
I know where Fresh comes from.
I didn't know if it was like just a weird name.
Oh my God. It's when I tell you, I was watching the movie and I was like, wait, what? Wait, why is this happening? Like I could not. I swear, I was just like, wait, this was not the movie that I clicked on, but I'm into it. I can't get out of it. I'm just like, oh my God, why do I like this movie? I shouldn't like this movie.
You have me intrigued. I mean,
repulsed but intrigued is definitely what you're going to be. I will tell you this. I almost threw up in my mouth once.
Oh gosh.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if I do want to watch it.
No, because it's like that. Because you think about it, and you're just like, I want to throw up in my mouth, and you're just like, nope, swallow it. You're fine. It's okay. Get past it. Get through it. You're going to finish this movie. I swear.
Oh my God.
But it's a good movie. All right, everybody, you have to check it out. Like I told you, it's fresh. It's on Hulu. The cast is Daisy Jones, and like I said, she's playing the character Noah. Sebastian Stan is playing the character Steve. JoJo T. Gibbs, I think she's playing the character Monica, who was the best friend. And then Andrea Bang, and she is playing Penny, the character Penny.
Oh boy! Okay, well we will all be checking that out on Hulu.
It is
Fresh on Hulu.
It is so good.
Okay,
so good. Okay,
right.
So what you got next?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have a TV show called Close to Me that we really can't even AMC in the United States like talking about it because it's a British TV show, and y'all do know that I love my British shows.
Yeah.
And so I had to actually download an app for like the Sundance Channel or something like that. It was something.
It was like Sundance Film Channel.
Yeah,
Sundance IFC and Sundance
and something and AMC Plus.
Yeah,
something something weird like that. Which I know AMC does have. A relationship with British television because things like Killing Eve, you can watch it on one or the other. You can watch it on BBC or you can watch it on, AMC. So anyway, but which Killing Eve has come back too. So that's going to be something I'm going to talk about in the future. But Close to Me is a show. It's a British show. I'm just going to mention 2 people on the cast because it's British and a lot of people don't know the folks. But I knew, I had seen previously Connie Nielsen, so look her up. She plays Joe Harding, and then her husband is Rob Harding, and he's played by Christopher Eccleston, and he's in a lot of different things too, especially a lot of different British TV. And so basically the story starts off with a woman at the bottom of the stairs with blood kind of coming out of her head, and she's like just waking up from having literally fallen down the stairs. And so she's like waking up and groggy and like opening and closing her eyes and just trying to figure out what else going on. And she's like talking to herself like, what's happening? How did I get here? Those kind of things. Distraught, right. So then you hear her husband and he's like, honey, whatever, are you okay? Whatever. And you just, next thing you know, she's in the hospital and she's on the gurney and she's getting, pulled back into a room for them to assess her and check her out and all of that. And so the show really is about a woman who does fall down the stairs and then starts having flashes of things that happened that she can't quite put together. So she's kind of out of it for a period of time because of the concussion. She has memory loss, all of those types of things. But she literally lost the whole last year of her life. So meaning she just can't remember it. Not that she was like in a coma or anything for a year, but she like literally just can't remember the last year of her life. So she'll ask certain questions and then, it's like, well, where's the dog? And they're like, oh. Well, the husband says, oh, the dog is actually down the block with a neighbor. I couldn't take care of the dog while you were in the hospital. So therefore, I went ahead and gave the dog to the neighbor. And so she's like, oh, okay. And then as the show goes on, you find out, no, he lied. The dog had died.
Dog been dead.
Dog died over the last year. She was there for it. She, helped bury the dog, whatever, but she didn't remember it. Yeah. So then she goes to her husband, like, why did you lie to me? Why did you tell me the dog was there? And he's like, oh, well, I just didn't want to cause extra stress and all of that. They said it doesn't help with your memory, blah, blah, blah. So then it's something else that she asks her husband about. And it's like, oh, yeah, everything's great. Business is wonderful, whatever. No, business is like in ruins. And so therefore she's like, you're lying to me again. So then she's like slowly getting bits and pieces and visions and things. She's screaming and yelling at somebody when she's near the stairs. So she's like, did somebody push me down the stairs? Like, what's going on with that? Then she starts having these bits of memories of something of her being pretty intimate, let's say.
Yeah, promiscuous.
Yeah, with someone. Yeah. That's not her husband because this person has tattoos and like her character is probably, she's got grown children. They're like 30 years old. Yeah. So she's like in her late 50s, maybe even early 60s. I don't know how old they're trying to say she is, probably in her late 50s. So therefore to see a younger guy, dark hair, her husband has blonde hair, tattoos. She's like, who in the world is this person?
I'm having a flash of.
That I'm having a flash of, that I'm being intimate with. Like, I'm just not understanding this.
Yeah, who is this?
And so then, her daughter comes to visit and she's talking to her and telling her, different things of what's gone on in her life and kind of reminding her mother of things that her mother, experienced from a year ago. She has a strange coworker that comes by and is like, yeah, you had a job, right, in the last year? And she was like, no, I've never had a job. And they're like, no, you had a job. You were working for a mission company for, I think it was Siberia. or something like that. So it's like, you were helping Siberian refugees because of the fact that you were from Siberia, and remember the orphanage you lived at, and you told us about all of this. And
she's from Siberia?
She's from Siberia, and she actually speaks 2 different languages. So some of it she's speaking to her father with I don't even know what language it is. But anyway, and then she's also speaking English, in the show. And so she's like, I didn't know I worked. Honey, why didn't you tell me I had gotten a job? Like, why didn't you tell me I worked? So she ends up taking this whole wall in her house and just starts writing things physically on the wall with a marker. Or she's putting pictures up of things that people are telling her. So she does
like a detective wall.
Yeah, detective wall for each month. Like, this happened this month. My son came out to me this month. My daughter told me this month. My dog died this month. Now that I found that out, I was working a job at this month, but then I got fired in this month, and I don't even know why I got fired. Like, all these different things. So the whole timeline, right, exactly. And so basically the show, and I mean, this is all pretty much in the first couple of episodes. So this is a slight spoiler, but not really, but it tells you how good the beginning of the show really is that those flashes of her with this guy, and she's trying to figure it out. And her daughter's like, okay, well, meet my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Who, lo and behold, has all those tattoos. Mm-hmm. So now the mother is like, wait, hold up. Why am I having a flash of my daughter's boyfriend's tattoos and me being very intimate? And now my daughter is like, super, super, super in love with this guy, and everything. And she had already met the boyfriend. She knew him from a year ago, but when she's meeting him this time, it feels like she's meeting him for the first time. So she is just like going down this rabbit hole, and it's a whirlwind for her because she's like, I don't know who I was or what I was doing and all of this. So the show really just goes into some very interesting kind of places. I will say that the ending left me a little deflated. Like, it wasn't as, like, the build up towards it didn't kind of live to the ending of it. But overall, I mean, it was a very decent watch in regards to just the questioning of everything. Yeah. I mean, just imagine you waking up and you can't remember the last year of your life, and the people around you are lying to you.
Yeah, that would suck.
Because they think they're protecting you, but they're not.
God. Yeah, then you wouldn't want to trust anybody.
Who do you trust? Because every time you try to find out the truth about something, then it's like, oh, well, why did you lie? And they're like, oh, to protect you. And it's like, well, y'all stop protecting me. Like, just tell me the truth. Yeah. Like, let me know. And then the people who weren't as close to her were the people who were coming to try to tell her the truth about certain things. But then they almost seem crazy to her because she's like, wait, you're talking stuff that I didn't even know I had a job. I didn't even know I would gotten fired. Yeah. I didn't even know about the Siberian, whatever. So you talking to me about all this doesn't quite sound like it's accurate, but it truly was. And she literally shined while she was doing all of that stuff, like to the point that it made you wonder if her husband was jealous of that. So it's like all these things to kind of have you thinking. And so the whole time you're looking at it, you're like, did she fall down the stairs? Was she pushed down the stairs? And if she was pushed down the stairs,
who did it?
Of the different people in her life who have been lying to her throughout this show, who actually did it?
Was it her daughter because she found out about her daughter, like her
exactly?
Dude? Was it her husband?
Husband, because of him being number one jealous of something. And oh, by the way, with his business going under, she was the one with all the money. Mm-hmm. So was he just trying to whack her?
Yeah.
So that like Carol Baskins?
Yeah. Exactly.
So is he trying to whack her so that way he could take all the money and pay off his debts and stuff? Was it the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Who's like, I have to tell my daughter. And he's like, no, you don't, or whatever. So it could be any number of things. So anyway, Close to Me was, it's British TV. It'll probably end up coming on like an AMC or something like that later. Usually like 6 months to a year after it's been on British TV, it kind of comes out. And on the American side, if it's something that's
it probably come on like Netflix or something like that.
On that side, yeah, exactly. So, but I just wanted to share that.
All right.
That's what I have for my second one.
That one.
Yeah. What about you?
All right. So for my second one, I have the new show that just came out on Netflix.
Netflix?
Is
that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A new show on Netflix called Pieces of Her.
I saw the trailer for this.
Okay.
That's all I know of it. It's just the trailer.
The trailer, it's so far I'm in like the third episode and I'm already hooked.
Okay.
Like once we're done, I'm gonna go start watching.
Yeah. I actually said that I wanted to start watching it at some point, but I'm trying to finish up the Dropout before I start up anything else. So yeah.
All right. So the cast in this is Toni Collette. She plays the mother. Bella Heathcote.
One of those.
Can't read my own handwriting. Sorry about that. Plays the daughter. His name is Andy. And then you have Omari Hardwick, who plays the stepfather.
Yes. From Power.
From Power, yeah. So this is a story of a daughter who is on her birthday, goes out to eat with her mother. And then this guy is there and ends up shooting the people who was beside them at the table. So and then he turns the gun on the daughter, and the mother just runs over him, just like tries to talk the boy down from shooting the daughter. But the boy sees her shirt and thinks that she's a police officer. She's a 911 dispatcher, so she has a uniform on. She's telling him, hey, like she's not. She just works for them. She just answers the phones, and like so now she's standing up at the boy, and he's like, no, she's a cop, and he goes like pull the trigger. All the bullets are gone because he's already shot a bunch of people inside the restaurant. So then after that, now that the gun is like empty, he goes to throw that down and he goes to grab a pocket knife out of his pocket. So now the mother is played by Toni Collette, looks at her daughter and is like, "Get out of here, Andy, run!" But Andy is frozen. Andy is just like, I can't move.
I can't move, yeah.
So now the boy has a pocket knife in his hand and he goes after the mother and he stabs her right in the hand.
Oh, gosh.
So now she has her hand up because she's trying to stop him.
Yeah.
She has her hand up and the knife is like in between her, let's say her middle finger and her ring finger.
Oh, wow.
And she just has this look on her face like, oh, you messed up now. Like, you know how that serial killer has that look? When they go from, like, the lady from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, when she goes from, like, being the nice nanny to the, oh, I'm ready to, like, kill somebody, that face.
That was the face.
That was the face she did. And she turned her hand around so the blade is facing him, slits his neck. He drops dead. He's, like, bleeding out. And where's he drop dead at? Right in front of the daughter. So the daughter's watching him just go, and, like he's gargling, like, blood. Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So,
and like, how did she know how to do that?
Exactly. Yeah. So then the mother's like losing so much blood. So now the daughter's like, oh my God, Mom. Like, so now all the people around are getting up. They're calling the cops. And the cops get there. And then the mother tells the daughter, don't talk to the police. Don't tell them what happened. And but she's like, Mom, what? And then like the mother starts to like pass out because she's losing so much blood. So like the daughter's trying to hold her hand up and everything. So then they take her to the hospital. Now, this is all within, like, the first 15 minutes of that first episode. Right.
And just to let you know, it is Heathcote.
Heathcote? Okay. Yeah.
With an E on the end.
Oh, yeah.
Heathcote or
Heathcote?
Okay. Yeah, it could be either one.
I think it's Heathcote, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, so while she's in the hospital, police come up to the daughter and just like, hey, can we just ask you some questions? Like, just trying to figure out, like, how did your mother just take him down like that? And she's just like, she remembers her mother being like, don't talk to the police. Mm-hmm. So now her stepdad, who's played by Omari Hardwick, comes up and he's just like, if you can just give us a minute so I can have some time with my child, with my daughter, we got to talk, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Dad, why did she tell me not to talk to the police? And he's just like, sweetie, I don't know, but let's just go ahead, figure out what's going on. When they turn around to go talk to the police are going to ask her another question. Toni Collette pulls up. Her name is Laura, actually. Mm-hmm. Pulls up. She's just like, hey, what's going on? Hey, guys, like, I would love to leave now. And the police are like, oh, yeah, can we just get a few minutes of your time? She's like, no, I'm exhausted. I just had surgery because she had to do constructive surgery on her hand. So I'm just ready to go. Fast forward, another whole thing happens, and she has to tell her daughter, you, like, basically leave. Like, this is where you need to go. So you need to go to, like, Get It and Go or something like that. You need to go to Get It and Go, which is in such and such town. Go there, and then just make your way towards Maine.
Oh, Lord.
So this is what Laura
tells her daughter.
Mm-hmm. And her daughter's like,
daughter
Mom
doesn't know anything.
She's like, Mom, what's going on? She was like, sweetie, I need you to listen to me. There's a lot going on. I can't tell you what's happening. Espionage. She was like, but she said, don't answer. She said, don't talk on the phone. She said, don't use your phone for any GPS. She said, I want you to take the vehicle. She said, find maps, do whatever you got to do, but just don't. Just go to this place and take this little burner phone. And when I call you, you answer the phone. You don't call anybody from this burner phone. You don't call me. You don't call anybody.
Wow.
So she's run so now the daughter's just like on the run and she has no idea why. But
why am I on the run?
As she's on the run, like I told you, it's the third episode now. She's starting to learn all the stuff about her mom.
But how is she learning on the run?
Because she doesn't listen to her mom. She doesn't go where she's supposed to go, of course.
And then she has to
what kid listens to their mom? Yeah.
Investigate and find out things. But that puts her in more danger because she's not listening to her mom, right?
Exactly. So now she's going through more crap because she's trying to figure out what's going on with her mom.
Just get to Maine first and then try to figure out
Just get to Maine and then talk to your mom once you get to Maine.
Right.
Why don't you just do that?
Yeah.
But it is suspenseful.
Okay.
It is good. The acting is really good. Toni Collette, I like her as an actress.
Yeah,
anyway.
I like her too. Yeah.
Like she's a really good actress. But yeah, the storyline and everything so far is pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't die down on me. I'd be pretty upset if it did.
Yeah. I know that's the sad part. Like that's kind of how I felt like Close to Me started off so strong, and then towards the end, I was like,
dies off. Yeah.
I mean, I could have potentially guessed that.
But see, the thing is because like this could have been a movie, but they stretched it out into a show.
Yeah.
So is it just going to be one season? Is it going to be multiple seasons?
Right. What shenanigans are they going to get
because
into?
You remember like back in the day, it used to be like TV actors and then movie actors.
Yeah,
now it's just actors in general because like you see them on TV show one day, they're in a movie the next.
Exactly, exactly, and that started happening a few years back because I remember you wouldn't even dare to think that Julia Roberts would be on a TV show.
Heck no, what?
And then all of a sudden, here she is.
Brad Pitt on a TV show? You must be out of your mind.
So it's kind of one of those things that I think what they started to realize is that the quality of TV shows has gone up so much. Yeah. And because of the fact that even if you're hot, there's still a very different audience that you get with television.
Exactly, that's very true. With movies. Yeah, and then you get to hold the person for longer. Exactly. If you're on TV. Exactly. Movie, you only hold the person's attention for like 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours tops.
Yeah.
But then unless you're doing like a whole bunch of sequels or something like that. But other than that, it's if you're watching a movie, you got 10 seasons, that's 10 years. That these people are just like...
You mean a TV show?
TV shows. Mm-hmm. I mean, because like, look at Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy.
I know, like you have her and Mariska Hargitay that, they'll be, 20, 30 years on a TV show.
Still going to be a doctor, still going to be a detective. They're going to be they're going to be 90 years old, still playing a doctor and still playing a detective.
Exactly.
Mariska Hargitay is going to be the new like Matlock or something, I swear. Something like that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I agree.
That would be an awesome idea. Do like a remake of Matlock. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, throw it out there. If they start doing it, claim it.
I know. I'm claiming it. Hey, we got to record it right here.
Yeah, exactly. Right here. Heard it here first.
Yeah, but everybody check out Pieces of Her. It is on Netflix.
Okay, awesome.
All right, what you got next?
I have a very long titled show.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The Woman Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
So some of you may have already seen this very long titled show on Netflix.
Yeah, the Woman Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
Yeah, hello, it's just that woman.
If you say it fast,
exactly.
But when you read it, it's a paragraph.
Across the street from
it's
that
a woman
girl.
Across the street from the woman in the window.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, this show is about a woman who... Number one, her wine game, I have never seen in my life.
That's not... Like, she had so many corks.
Seen somebody with so many corks.
Like, how you have a cork bowl that's overflowed.
Overflowing cork bowl. I've never seen someone who has a glass large enough to hold an entire bottle of wine to the final drop.
I feel like they make those now, like everywhere now.
And that it holds it, and then
we should test some of your wine glasses.
Yeah, hey, don't put me you on blast.
I'm not putting you on blast. I'm just seeing like how much like a red wine glass would hold.
How much would it hold? Yeah, I got you. But yeah, so she literally is somebody who likes to stay, doesn't like to stay in the house, has stayed in the house because of the fact that she had a traumatic experience to happen to her. And she doesn't really go outside often. She can go outside, but she doesn't go outside specifically when it rains. Like that it's something traumatic for her in regards to the rain. So therefore, she likes to kind of, if anybody's ever seen the movie Rear Window, that's exactly what this is, for the most part, which is one of my favorite
Ombrophobia
movies.
Is what it's
called. Ombrophobia.
Yeah.
And so it is, and like I was saying, that is actually one of my favorite movies, believe it or not, is Rear Window. I've loved that ever since, gosh, I don't even remember how long ago. But basically, so the character actually, and I didn't even type in the information here, but basically she ends up going through a traumatic experience. She's in the house. She sits on her couch or in her chair, and she just looks out the window, and she just sees kind of what's going on in the world, what's going on in the neighborhood, what's happening. And so she one day is looking out of the window, and she, just to give you the characters also, sorry about that, Kristen Bell plays the main character. Her name is Anna. And then you have other characters that I don't really even think you really know that much, other than Michael Easley, who plays her husband. So, but other characters are kind of like new people on the block.
Well, I mean, they've probably been on stuff before.
You've seen them maybe in a few things, but
they're not main characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is that she is staring out the window one day and seeing all these kids getting ready for school. And she's like, oh my gosh, honey, you got to get ready to go to school. Like, there's something going on. We got to get you ready to school. And then she realizes her daughter is not there. Her daughter has passed away.
Yeah.
And so it kind of hits her that, oh my gosh, like, I don't have a child anymore. So you're realizing that, okay, there's, some trauma here for sure, and you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. So then you're figuring that's probably why she's drinking. You figure out that she's talking to a therapist, and the therapist tells her not to mix her therapist, the medication that she's on, along with the alcohol, because it can create hallucinations. Yep. So you're just like, okay, what of her? Because usually you can trust, other than with a show like Close to Me where it's flashes of memories, but usually you can trust the narration of the main character. You can trust, okay, this is what's going on, this is what happened. With her, you cannot.
At all, whatsoever.
At all, you cannot trust.
It's like watching a schizophrenic.
It's like, is this reality? Yeah, or is this just what she's thinking because she's hallucinating?
Yeah, or is she dreaming? Or
you never know while you're watching the show.
So much.
Now, she goes and gets a casserole out of the oven because a neighbor has moved in next door.
Which, by the way, the casserole dish is the main character.
Okay, so she goes to get the casserole dish out of the oven, and she just uses her bare hands, picks up the casserole dish, and then like 5 seconds afterwards thinks, oh my God, my hands are burning, and she screams, drops it, and then, it splatters all over the floor. And so you see her with these beans. She's got that on her hands. She does finally go over. She meets the neighbor. He's a nice guy. Over time, she ends up going and having dinner with him, all of this. And so, just neighborly things, just enjoying each other's company. And I guess a slight attraction's there for her, but, like, he's the neighbor. So then all of a sudden, a girlfriend shows up. And when the girlfriend shows up, it's like, oh, didn't know he had a girlfriend. Didn't know anything about that. So one night she's sitting at the window looking out, drinking her wine and taking her pills, which again could cause hallucinations. And she sees the girlfriend basically at the window with her hand on her neck. And like she's dying and like blood is gushing out and everything. And she's just there like, whatever. So of course, Anna's character is like, oh my God, like what's going on? Let me call 911. She accidentally gives her address instead of the neighbor's address. But then she gets it all cleared up. They go over there. No blood, no body, no anything. Nothing, And she's like, I know I'm not dreaming this. I saw it. I truly saw it. And that's where we don't know while you're watching this whole show. Is it
because
true?
Nothing's reality in this
movie. Did she hallucinate? Whatever. So the show, I'm going to put it like this. to not give too much away. The casserole dishes are a main character because she probably breaks
Emmy
about
award-winning
7.
casserole dishes right there.
I don't know how so many casserole dishes slipped out of somebody's hand.
Their stock went up. We should have bought Corningware stock right after this movie. I swear.
Because of the movie, because now everybody wants to make their neighbor's casseroles. The other thing that's very strange is that her husband is well, I guess not even that it's strange, but I guess he's a therapist for people who are murderers and psychotic serial killers and things of that nature.
But then like maximum facility prisons
facility prison, and he
like mental facilities and stuff like that.
Ends up taking his daughter to work. For Take Your Daughter to Work Day, which she helped insist that he takes his daughter to work, which you're watching it and you're like, why in the world?
But I mean, so
would any mother or parent want to take their child?
But then it's also like Take Your Daughter to Work Day. It could have been like, oh, we could be in my office all day. Not, oh, I have to go out and talk to these
psychopaths. Yeah. I think it was comedic genius, in my opinion, because
absolutely.
The show is it walks
very thin line,
dark comedy lines.
God, I love it. I love it so much.
It walked extremely dark comedy lines. So you're looking at something and you're like, okay, am I getting this the way that I'm supposed to be getting this? And then you're seeing something else and you're like, oh my God, no, are they really going to do that? Like, I can't even laugh at this.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious, but I can't really laugh at it because
it's like you don't want to laugh, but you have to laugh. Like, you automatically know. It's like, if I laugh at this, I'm going to hell, but I'm going to laugh because I can't help but to laugh.
Right. And then the other thing that's just really weird is like, there's this guy, Buell.
Buell, who's always there.
Is always in her front yard working on the mailbox.
Yeah.
Hey, every single episode of this show.
And I'm like, what? How slow is Buell, first of all? And then second of all, what is going on with this mailbox?
Right. Why is it that Buell can't get this mailbox fixed? And then, it's just so many weird things. But that's part of the comedy of it. It's like you're watching it and you're like, he's still out there. It just takes you out of the show altogether.
Because you're not even paying attention. You're just sitting there and you're just like, wait, look at the mail. Okay, he's fixing the mailbox. But he's just in the background, right?
At first, the first episode.
I know. But then later on, she like speaks to him, but he's still in the background. Then she's talking to her neighbor. He's still in the background. It's like, when is this man going to leave?
When is he going to finish this mailbox? It should not take you 15 days to do
I swear,
mailbox.
it was a whole school year that it took for him to fix that mailbox.
It's so funny.
But it's funny. It's dark. I love it.
And it has a ton of twists.
Yeah, a lot of twists.
A ton of twists where you're just like, maybe it's this. Maybe it's that.
Yeah,
maybe it's
a lot of twists.
And who it is at the end is so unexpected. In regards to, well, first of all, did anything even happen?
Well, no, because I mean, like, some people might get it.
Well, first of all, it's did anything happen? Like, did she hallucinate this and this one? Because the other thing is she's on Olympia Air. She's in Seattle. Like, she took the flight to Seattle. Then it becomes, did she really take that flight?
Yeah. Did this happen?
Did this really happen? And then she starts to second guess herself. And well, maybe. And I was drinking. And I did take the pills.
Yeah. And then Buell's here. And then Buell's still here.
Right.
Buell left.
Exactly.
He's still here.
So it's just a little all over the place, but it is so good.
But there is a psychopath. Definitely in this movie.
Yeah,
like there's multiple. The show. It's multiple psychopaths because they show multiple psychopaths.
Yeah, they show multiple psychopaths. And
comedic relief.
Yep, comedic relief and things that just make you question. Like, you're questioning it, but it's not even anything you should like. When somebody says, "Oh, maybe I overprescribed you," or maybe this, or maybe that, it's like, really? If you're a professional,
yeah. What were you thinking?
Yeah. How is that? But it's like it's said in such a flippant way, like, well, maybe it happened. I don't know. I mean, who knows? And you're just like, oh my God, I would be furious. Yeah. But in this show, because it's so weird and quirky, it's like nobody's gonna. They don't even pay any attention to it. We're the ones paying attention to all the
reason that the Corningware dish is like the main character is because it's just there every episode.
Every episode.
It's like Buell. Yes. It's there every episode.
Yeah. And then going back to her condition.
But nobody ever mentions.
Nobody mentions it.
Nobody mentions the dish. It's just there.
And that's the thing about the show is things happen. And then you're like, oh, this is going to be addressed.
Yeah,
like I know for sure.
Nope, not at
this
all.
is going to be addressed.
Nope.
And everything that you think is going to be addressed, it's like it's not. It was just there.
No, yeah, it just happened.
It's
like, so what's up? Like, what's up with this Corningware dish?
Yep. Nobody cares. Nobody talks about it ever again.
No.
And then
what's up with the big wine glasses? No, nothing. She just likes to drink wine.
Mm-hmm. And then
she can have one glass a night.
With her having the condition of not being able to go in the rain, if she is caught in the rain, she basically passes out.
Yeah, she freezes up and passes out.
Yeah, she just basically passes out. So then it becomes this whole crazy scenario of her like getting caught in the rain, and you're like, chick, you can't be out in the rain.
Yeah, but then it's like, what happens when you get caught out in the rain? Like, who's bringing you inside? What is happening with all that? Yeah,
and why is it the rain? Because why you think it's the rain might not be why it's the rain. It's just
so much.
It's so much. So I'm just going to leave it there. So,
it's as funny as its name.
Yeah, so The Woman Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. And that's, again, on Netflix. Oh. And I think that everybody that I'm aware of, at least, who has watched it has not been disappointed. Yeah, everybody seems to love it. So although the name is long, if you can deal with dark humor.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a drama. It does feel like a drama.
Yeah, it comes off as like a drama, but it's a comedy.
It's a comedy. They do try to make it seem like it's a drama. They're not even really trying to be funny.
But see, that's how I felt like Wolf Like Me was. I felt like Wolf Like Me was like trying to be a drama, but it was a comedy because some stuff that was said was funny. It was like dark humor funny.
This one was funny.
No, this one was a lot funnier.
This was a darker, funnier comedy. Where the other one may have had one funny thing per episode. Like this had a lot going on. That if you weren't offended, you're
laughing. Exactly.
But anyway, all right. So then we'll get to your last one. Since what you got?
All right. So my last one it's really not that good of a movie.
Well, great way to start.
Just letting you know, I just want to go ahead and bring it out there because everybody was talking about it. It is Marry Me, the J-Lo movie.
Oh, Marry Me.
Cute movie.
Okay.
Cute movie. That's how I'm going to say it. It's a cute movie.
Okay.
It's a cute romantic comedy. It's like all of J-Lo's movies. Mm-hmm. Just like all of J-Lo's movies. It seems the same thing as, there's a TV show called like The Beauty and the Baker where like the lady who is a celebrity ends up like going on a date with this like guy who's just like a baker.
Okay.
So it's like that meets Made in Manhattan, which meets The Wedding Planner, which is J-Lo's movies.
All J-Lo's movies, yeah.
Same. It's the same concept. Yeah. J-Lo, I like.
So I feel like, and maybe I'm not right on this, but I feel like the premise is, as most romantic comedies are, because I haven't watched it. I know you watched it with Mom.
Yeah.
But it is...
Shout out to Mom.
A girl meets guy that she's not really interested in, but she's, like the way that everybody knows that it starts is the fact that she's on stage and this guy has a marry me sign and she's like, okay.
Yeah, so all right, so I'll give you the gist of the beginning of it, or basically what it is. So J-Lo is dating this other recording artist named Bastian.
Oh, Bastian.
They actually have they are the it couple. They are the Kim and Kanye back when Kim and Kanye. They are the Jay-Z, Beyonce. Let's say that. That's who they are because they're two artists that do stuff together. But what ends up happening is while J-Lo is on stage and they have this song that they wrote together so they can perform together so they can get awards and everything called Marry Me. And right when they're about to sing the song together, J-Lo gets her phone from her manager. So takes the phone from the manager, looks at it, and sees that her assistant has been sleeping with Bastian.
That's not good.
Yeah, not good at all. So what happens from there is now she's on stage and she's just all upset, and then she sees Owen Wilson holding a sign that says "Marry Me," and she's like, "Yes, I'll marry you." And then they make it a publicity thing, and then they fall in love, and they don't fall in love, and then they do fall in love. It's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. So it's basically what I was going to say. Yep,
Yeah.
it sounds about right. That it's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'll marry you. Don't really like you. We'll just be hanging out,
Like,
whatever.
As we're watching
and then,
the movie, I was like, oh, yeah, such and such. And Mom was like, you've seen this before, haven't you? I was like, no, I just
already
know
it
what's
a
going to
mile
happen.
away. Yeah, exactly. So
You can't see it. Like,
yep, you already know. So if you're somebody who likes romantic comedies,
if you're a hopeless romantic,
right, then it's definitely something to watch. So you can see the slight differences of this versus.
If you're a dark, hopeless romantic, watch Fresh.
Oh God.
But it is good. But no, Marry Me is a pretty cute movie. It's a movie. It's a rom-com that it's kind of like a family movie because Owen Wilson has a daughter in this. And then, like, she's getting to know his daughter, so she goes to school, and he's a school teacher. So, it's like a family-oriented. It's nothing sexual. Like, you don't see...
So you can watch it with a family.
You can watch it with a family. There's no nudity. Like, the most you get is, like... I think Owen Wilson has, like, a wife beater on or no shirt on, and then J-Lo has, like, a dress, like, one of his dress shirts on.
Oh, okay.
That's about the most you'll get, besides when she's walking on the red carpets with, like, the... revealing outfits, but
okay,
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's okay.
It's just okay.
It's just okay.
All right.
I mean, I would say, get Peacock to watch it. Don't go to the theaters.
Was it even in the theaters?
Yes, and how is it on Peacock and in the theaters at the same time? I don't understand
Some movies did come out that way throughout the pandemic, so
save your like $13.
And
Peacock, you can do it free for a week or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Try your trial.
Do the
watch
free
the
trial,
movie.
watch the movie.
Cancel it.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
Peacock will never, ever be trying to be a sponsor for us because of what we just said.
Well, I think a lot of people who stream do that. They watch whatever show. Like some people will actually wait until a season is over and then do the free weekend or free 7 days, binge it all, and then be ready to, do whatever. So I don't think that we're saying things that people haven't already thought of.
Yeah, and then the companies would probably just do away with the free trial.
Yeah, that's true because that's why they offer it is for everybody to get a chance. And then, by the way, guess what? While you're watching Marry Me, you might get hooked onto something else that's a Peacock show. You see?
Aha. Where's the spoon? Aha.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, that is it for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on Sestra-Tainment. We'll talk to you all next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.